You know what? I'm just gonna straight up admit it. So I did just record this, and I realized the audio was not being recorded from the show, so it was just all silence. But yeah, I sat here and debated for a minute. I was like, okay, you know what? Screw it. Let's just re-record it. Um, so let's start over. I know this is not normally what I put on this channel. I do a lot of I like to put up the vlogs and everything, but this was something I had kind of been wanting to do, was react to stuff like this. And I know even some people had, suggested me doing that, and I didn't really want to put it on my main channel because I was like, I want that to be focused more on gaming, not like, reality shows and reacting and stuff like that to this kind of stuff. So I was like, well, let's put it on the vlog second channel because why not? But anyway, we today are going to be taking a look at Amanda and Razvan from the newest season of 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. So let's just go ahead and take a look at it, shall we? So, first off, first red flag is they are obviously still dealing with the death of their dad and her husband. I mean, she's got, like I said, I don't want to throw shade on saying if that's a good way to cope or not, because I don't have experience of losing a husband. My husband is sitting behind the webcam, alive and well. We have 3 kids for anybody who doesn't know. But so I'm coming from the experience of someone who is married with kids, but he's still alive and kicking back there. So, obviously I don't know from the perspective of losing your husband, but if you're still at a point where you have like a picture and you're calling it the daddy box, maybe it's not the best time to be thinking about getting engaged to somebody, because it seems like it's still pretty fresh. And your kids are young. They look young. I believe they're 7 and 4. Because I will just say I have obviously watched this full episode last night and then I already reacted to it because this is a re-recording. So I will even, kind of go in with some points because I'm not going to show all the full clips anyway. But yeah, she has only been, like, he's only been gone. She said, like, I lost my husband earlier this year. She says that. So it hasn't even been a year, and she's already thinking about getting engaged to another dude. It's like, I know there's no timeline on how long you have to grieve, how long between those relationships, but when you get kids involved, it becomes a little more dicey. At least in my opinion. It becomes a lot more dicey, and you have to be more careful. And like, if it's been less than a year, maybe you shouldn't be trying to bring a new man into the life of your 7 and 4-year-old. Just a thought, maybe, because they're young. They only understand so much. Like the 4-year-old, when she even told him, she was saying, she told him, oh, daddy's gone to heaven, and he was even confused. He's like, when does daddy come home from heaven? So it's like your youngest even still doesn't really fully understand what's happening. So for you to go and just get engaged and bring another man in, that's probably going to confuse him a lot and cause a lot of resentment and potentially mess him up for a while. Even for your older one who does understand more of what's going on, she'll just see it from a different resenting and being messed up kind of way.
And he has talked me through some of my worst days.
Yeah.
He makes me laugh all the time. He's silly and he's kind of like a little bit dorky.
I will give that at least she's talking about like his actual personality, and saying, oh, he's silly, he's dorky, he helped, talk me through my darkest times, instead of just going on about the way he looks, because let's be real, a lot of people on the show just go on about how hot they think the other person is. Not really, it's like, okay, cool, they're attractive, but what about their personality do you like? Anything? Yeah, okay, just they're hot, okay, cool. So I will at least give her that, and it kind of makes sense that she is looking at that aspect, considering she does have to factor in 2 young children. So I'm glad she at least is having the sense and seems to, like more about him than just he's handsome or whatever.
We've been together for 4 months.
4 months. They've been together 4 months. Okay, because she even goes on later in this episode to say, like, oh yeah, we've already broken up, a few times in this 4 month relationship. And it's like, you've already broken up with him. Are you kidding me? You've had a few breakups. You've only been dating 4 months. And you're already putting yourself in a position to be like, I want to be engaged to this guy. Woo! And I'm going to bring him into my kids' lives. It's like, girl, slow down. Just slow down.
Razvan and my kids talk often. He plays with them on video chat. He dresses up in costumes.
So she's known this man for 4 months. She's been dating him for 4 months. They've already had some breakups. And she's already involving the kids in their lives. Like, girl, no. When you have kids, you need to be cautious about introducing someone to your kids, because you go on to state that you don't want this to be like, if you guys break up and it doesn't work out, you don't want it to be another man that's just leaving your kids' lives. Well, you already have them talking to him. I mean, at least you're not like frickin' Nicole, who had her daughter calling as in daddy. Like, at least it's not that bad. Because, like, yeah, she shouldn't have, that's a whole other box of worms of Nicole and Asin. But you already have him. You haven't even met him in person. And you already have your kids building a rapport with him. If he talks to them, he plays with them online, like, over the phone and everything. And it's like, and if this all doesn't work out because you're not even 100% sure, why are you setting your kids up for heartbreak and failure like this? Like, I get it, you're grieving, and you do deserve to move on. Like, you're still young. Your kids, should have someone who can be like a father figure in their lives without, of course, replacing their father. But you're probably trying to push things a little too fast. Like, maybe put on the brakes a little, because it's not even like, a traditional relationship where, you go on a lot of dates with him and everything. You've met him in person, you've seen your rapport, and then you slowly introduce your kids. No. You're like, okay, we're on video chat. All right, start playing with my kids. Like really? Really? It's kind of dangerous game to play. And even there, you just said you don't want to tell your kids you're in a serious relationship until you're 100% sure. So I get you haven't introduced the guy as the fact that you're in a relationship with him, but if you don't even feel comfortable doing that, why are you introducing him to them right now? Because it's not like you guys are just ever going to stay friends, especially being international. Like, at that point, if it doesn't work out, you're not going to talk to each other. So then if it doesn't work out, you're just going to take him out of the kids' lives, and the kids have lost someone that they've built rapport with, had fun with. Girl, I don't know. Sometimes it seems like Amanda has a good head on her shoulders, and then other times it's like, well, you just kind of did the opposite of what you're wanting to do, because you just said you don't want to introduce a serious relationship until, to your kids till it's 100% sure, but they already know who this guy is. And it's set up in a way that, like, you wouldn't keep hanging out with him as friends or anything. So if it doesn't work out and he disappears, there goes some more trauma for your kids, because it's another person who left and they don't understand. Or even, like, let's say it does work out and you bring this guy in so soon and you're scared to tell them.
You can.
The one son, he doesn't even understand fully what's going on, because there was a clip where he was like, when's daddy coming back from heaven, after she explained, like, daddy went to heaven. Well, he's too young. He didn't even understand what that was. So that's going to hurt him in that way, of you bring someone in so soon because he doesn't get it. And then the daughter who does get more what happened, it's going to hurt her in a different way and traumatize her in a different way, even if he comes in so soon. Because, like, I don't have personal experience with step parenting, but I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and it's a very delicate and fine line, because you don't want to overstep boundaries. It can be very difficult for the kids, especially considering what the situation is. And in this one, they lost their dad, they can't see him again, and it can be to them like questioning, like, Well, damn, Mom, you
I
moved
got
on
shot
quick.
by
What?
an arrow, which you can't
Like,
block,
what?
and
Why'd you
then
move
that
on so
interrupted my
quick? What's
block,
happening
and then I got
here?
hit.
Okay, and there is problem number 2. You know that I say I'm not jealous, but I am jealous. Okay, if he's like he's an actor. He's doing thing for music videos. If you, and that's fine if you have that boundary of like, I don't like you kissing or being, romantic, even if it's just pretend or acting with another woman, then you got the relationship's got to end there, because if it's his job, you can't tell him just to quit his job just because you're insecure. So it's either something you're going to have to deal with or something that you should consider a deal breaker, and this shouldn't even be a thing. End of discussion right there. Like, if you're jealous, and especially if you say, oh, well, I know I say I'm jealous, but you know that I actually am. Well, you can't be doing that then. You can't say, oh, I'm not jealous, but then actually be jealous. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like,
No, I do.
it's just, oh, I see a lot of
It's
failure
most of the time
and red flags happening with this
I don't know the game enough
relationship.
for good positioning to use a crossbow
Just
because you have to stay stationary to
big
reload.
time. But anyway, that is going to end it for the reaction to Amanda and Razvan for episode 1. If you enjoyed, give this video a like. Let me know down in the comments below what are your thoughts on this whole relationship. Again, take everything, grain of salt. Obviously, I'm no expert. I don't know everything. These are just my opinions. Whether I'm right or wrong, it's my opinions. I can have opinions, and then I can share them on the internet. But yeah, so I'll probably at least do these like episode by episode react, because I do have Discovery Plus. That's how I'm watching it, because I don't have cable. So yeah, I'll probably just do like episode by episode, and if you want me to react to other couples or even like different shows, they're like on TLC or whatever, or on Discovery Plus or even like Amazon Prime or whatever, anything, just leave it in the comments below, yeah. It's a trip. This show, it's definitely a trip. I do have my main channel, Instagram, Discord, Twitch, all of that linked down below. But yeah, so go ahead and I already said leave a like, but I mean, you could leave a dislike too if you don't like it, I guess, free to do what you want. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.